During my preparatory law course, I was blessed with committed and conscientious professors who were very strict and demanding. Their discipline and excellent teaching challenged me to study hard to maintain my scholarship. Up to now, I still remember the wisdom and integrity impressed upon my young mind by my professors in argumentation and debate. Many of you know him, Dean Francisco M. Africa, tatandaan niyo siya, whose teachings on the elementary rules of logic I still use today. Dr. Benito M. Africa, who expounded on philosophy. Professor Angelica Mendoza, who explained botany. I try to listen whether you remember. And English, Professor Rosario Melchor, who emphasized the rules of grammar and style, which I still apply today, believe it or not, when writing my decisions in the Supreme Court. In the Institute of Law, I was amply armed with a formidable legal arsenal. At the top of the list, of course, is Dean Salonga, who, as I already said, is my role model in my law career and in my life as a whole. Through him, we, not only I, received not only UP-style education, but also Harvard and Yale techniques as well, because he shared with us what he learned in all three schools. Therefore, at that time, we did UP because Dean Salonga imparted not just UP education, but also Harvard and Yale. Well, indeed, I'm grateful to him for his legal expertise, but more than that, for his moral courage, high-mindedness, and love of countries, values that I aspire to internalize and emulate. Dr. Salonga inculcated in me the values of seeking the higher ground by prioritizing academic studies above all other school activities. At that time, I was also active, as many of you know, in extracurricular activities, having been president of the UPSO and having organized and headed the National Union of Students. Relentlessly impressing upon me that my first duty was to excel in academics, he would make it a point to call me in class recitations during those times when he knew that we would be at the height of our organizational projects or activities. I suspect that he purposely did so to test whether I was adhering to my promise to him never to forget my academic studies. Because of his constant monitoring of my grades, as well as his encouragement and unfailing faith, I managed to graduate with honors and to be among the top-notchers of the 1960 bar examinations. Constituting the law faculty then were the best and brightest lawyers, as most of you know, like Neftali Gonzalez, who later became, like Dean Salonga's second president, Edgardo El Paras and Salvador Esguerra, both of whom became Supreme Court justices. Artemio Solidum, Antonio Lucero, Luis G. Reyes, Angel Mojica, Jose Luterio, and of course, the father of and also Bessie Urado, the father of Justice Urado. And of course, Dean Salonga brought in Ivy League graduates like Juan Ponce Enrile, Manuel Montisillo, who's here now, Reynaldo Alejandro, Augusto Cesar Espiritu. All of them demanded excellence, diligence, and hard work from all of us. Small wonder then that during our college days at that time, FEU law graduates always landed among the top-notchers in the annual bar examinations. To both my Institute of Law and Institute of Arts and Sciences professors who required my best performance all the time, whether alive or now in the great beyond, I express my heartfelt gratitude. Indeed, the academic excellence I learned from FEU has made me self-confident and self-assured then and now. FEU also taught me that it was not enough to be an expert in one's profession. One should have also a more than adequate knowledge of the arts, history, literature, ethics, and the humanities in general. In this regard, Dr. Alejandro Arroces, who was appointed Dean of the Institute of Arts and Sciences when I was already a student in the Institute of Law, was highly instrumental in my own immersion in the arts. From Dr. Roses, I learned the art of knowing everything about something and something about everything. It was he who impressed upon me the ideals of a truly educated person, one bred in the humanities, anchored on values, and moved by principles. His words and example influenced my youthful aspiration for a place in society. In fact, when I established the National Union of Students, I invited him to be NUSP's advisor. As a team, we collaborated to reform the student movement in the country at that time. He was also my benefactor and coach in several battles for campus leadership. Eventually, when Lenny and I got married, he became our Nino. The entire passion of Dean Roses and the aplomb with which he went about his work and his mission caught the admiration of then President Diosdado Macapagal, who recruited him to be the youngest Secretary of Education in the country. The then President of FEU, the predecessor of Dr. Charles, Dr. Teodoro Evangelista, was himself outstanding and single-minded in his educational policies. He believed that education, in the right sense of the word, and I quote him, aims to prepare for work, not as an end in itself, but as a means to the enjoyment of life of the mind and the spirit. Close quotation. Because of the influence of these great men, I learned early on that excellence in liberal education and specialization in a career must go hand in hand. Indeed, excellence in law is not enough. Lawyers must also have a good grasp of the arts and sciences in order to perform their work fully.